Welcome to the Master Dealmaker's Secrets podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmaker's Secrets. I am John Blake. This is episode 37. Today we're going to be talking about as to whether you should borrow money when you start your own business and the link between entrepreneurship and depression and in some cases suicide. So unusual episode, I know. It's one that sort of came to me. It's sort of, coming up more and more in conversations around people who are starting up their own businesses and a link around depression. So I think it'll be really interesting. I think you'll get a lot out of it. But first, if you have got lead flow, by lead flow, I mean if you've got leads coming into your business, if you've got inquiries coming into your business every month and you want to convert more of those leads into sales, go to johnblakeaudio.com and get your free audio training where I show you the exact strategy that you can use to double the number of inquiries that convert into paying clients. This is the same strategy that I use with brand new clients when I first get them on board to give them a really fast win and a quick ROI, and it will absolutely work in your business. So head over to johnblakeaudio.com, download the audio training and get the PDF companion guide that has the exact scripts around what to write in your emails, what to say in the voicemail messages that you leave, and how frequently you need to contact somebody over an 8-week period to get them on board without getting them offside. So head over to johnblakeaudio.com. I'm sure it'll work for you and it will start working straight away and give you some really, really consistent results. Thank you.
All right, welcome. Now, today we're doing something a little bit different. I am currently in the car, and so the audio quality might not be as good as what it normally is, but I've got a really important message. I've had this sort of come to me, and I really want to share it because I think it has a lot of importance in what's going on in today's world, where there are a lot of people who are taking they're taking that leap of faith into starting their own business. Call it entrepreneurship if you want. People that are wanting to take their future into their own hands, start their own business. They've got a good idea, and there's something that I'm noticing, and it's a problem. Quite frankly, it's a problem. The situation that I'm referring to is that there are a number of serious problems associated with entrepreneurs and depression, and this has become more and more prevalent in recent years. And I've been looking and examining, some of the dominoes that fall along that road. What is it that causes somebody to come into a place where they start to feel surrounded and cornered and with very few choices? And I think that it's worthwhile exploring that. So today we're going to talk about that. So what I'm hearing is that there are a number of people who get a good idea, and so what do? They want to begin a business. They want to start a business. And so the first thing that they'll do is they'll go, okay, well, in order for me to start this business, I'm going to need some seed capital. I'm going to need some money, to get this thing set up. So what do? They go to the normal kind of lending places, but if they don't have a heap of money behind them, or they don't have a history of being able to borrow money and pay it back, then the banks aren't going to give them any money. So what do they then do? Well, they go looking for investors. And so investors can come in many forms. Investors can come in the form of mum and dad. Investors can come in the form of people that I know who have money. So what type of people that most people know that have money are they going to go to? Well, they're going to go to their friends. So what happens? They start their business, and especially if people haven't had a lot of experience in business previously, or even if they have, like they might have had one really successful business, and so they go to start a second successful business, and they expect for the second business to be as successful as the first, and often that's really not the case. In fact, often that first success can be isolated, and if they go into a different industry that they don't know much about, or perhaps they haven't done as much due diligence and research and really set themselves up to kick a goal straight off the bat, that second business might not go very well at all. So, two common denominators, starting a second business or even starting a first business, borrowing money from people that they know and people that have got faith in them. And so here's the thing. Business can sometimes not be that good. It can be tough, and cash flow can get tight. And I think it's that pressure. I think it's the pressure of having to let the people down who are closest to you that causes people to be depressed. And in extreme cases, and I'm starting to hear about this more and more and more, entrepreneurs are taking their own life. Business owners are taking their own life. And why is that? Because they're ashamed. They're ashamed that they've borrowed money off people that had faith in them, and they've got to go back to those people cap in hand and say, I lost your money. I haven't been able to do the things that I really wanted to do, and I haven't been successful in this business. And some people, or many people, dread that conversation. And who wouldn't? Who wouldn't dread that conversation? Who wouldn't dread having to go back to friends and family and explain to them that the money that they borrowed is not going to be paid back because the business has failed? And so I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, well, what's the antidote to that? Well, the antidote to that is actually pretty simple, and it's about bootstrapping. And it's the philosophy that I have myself. It's the philosophy that I typically work with. So like I've had clients that have come to me that have had an idea that they wanted to launch, and they didn't have the first idea about how to do it. And we have, so probably, the best example would be the PT client that I work with, who is just going great guns. Like, she's just creating some incredible wins, all over the place. In fact, she's agreed to come on the show, so I'm going to interview her. Her name's Mandy. But my point being is that when we first started, she had a PT business. She was making a certain amount of money per month. But she had this idea and this vision of what she wanted to create. Now, we've grown that business to a point where she's now doing 4 times, in fact 5 times, as much as what she was just as a single PT with a handful of clients. But we've done it organically. We've bootstrapped that business. We've grown it step by step by step and established a solid foundation at each level of growth. And I think that if new, entrepreneurs can have some patience, they can do that, and they can do that more effectively, and they can do it without having to become embarrassed about borrowing truckloads of money off people who they then might get into a situation where they can't pay them back. So I hope this helps. If you know somebody who is an entrepreneur, if you are thinking of starting up your own business, before you go and borrow a whole bunch of money and set up really flash offices and go and spend a truckload of money on marketing and go and blow it all, think about how you can grow that business organically. Think about how you can get to that first level and build that solid level of growth at that first level, and do that by bootstrapping. And by bootstrapping, I mean, what is it? Certainly when you start a business, you've got time. So use that time to to do your own lead generation. Look at building your own database. Go. Get off your bum and go and knock on some doors. Contact some people. Certainly use your network for introductions. You can use your network for introductions and leverage without having to use your network for, borrowing money. And I think that if people start like that, their learning curve, their growth curve will probably be flatter, so you probably won't grow as fast, but your learning curve will be a lot steeper. And I think it long term will save a lot of people from, getting into trouble and getting into that position where they really feel trapped. So, unusual episode, but kind of came to me, and I know that mental health is a massive thing, and there's more and more people that are starting their own business, and so hopefully if there's somebody that that's contemplating it, they might have a listen to this, and hopefully it'll help. Hopefully it'll help them to sort of kick things off on the right foot. And the other cool thing about bootstrapping is that you get to market test your idea so that you can get feedback before you actually go and throw a whole bunch of money into it. Before you go and tip a whole bunch of extra resources in the form of money or time into it, you can actually market test your minimum viable product before you go and invest a whole truckload of money in it. So, like I said, hope this helps. Hope this helps. If you know anyone who you think would appreciate it, feel free to share it. And I think it's an important thought, especially for people who are thinking about starting their own business. Thank you again for listening, and I will talk to you on the next podcast. Cheers.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker's Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies to maximize your sales process with new episodes every week. And double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive free no-fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.